Hello, welcome to IYR Talks English. In this talk show, today we have a distinguished personality with us, Rangarajan Soundarrajan Garu, who is the chief priest of Chilukuru Balaji temple. It's a very unique temple system, one should say. It does not have a hundi. There are no VIP culture, special darshans or any such thing. People just keep moving and then have a darshan. And especially when this US craze was there among the students to go over to USA for their studies and employment. The Venkateshwara of Chilukuru Balaji became the visa Balaji. So students used to really go there, pray to get a chance to go abroad, and their wishes used to get fulfilled. They had that faith in the God. So it's that temple that Rangarajan Soundarrajan represents. It has a very great history of almost all about 400 years. His father Soundarrajan, who is also a distinguished person, actually started taking this temple in a new direction outside the control of the government and endowment department, and built it up as a model of how a Hindu institution, religious institution can be run. So this is the background. Unfortunately, recently there was a very bad incident where he was targeted by some hooligans, we should say mad hooligans. I mean, unless you are mad and insane, you don't do a thing like that. But it goes to the strength of the person and the strength of the commitment they have for the cause in which they believe, that he just shook it off and is back to normal, doing the service that he was doing earlier and serving the Lord with total dedication. One thing great about his father Soundarrajan as well as by Rangarajan is that they are activists. They are not just, I am just a priest, I'll just do the temple rituals and be done with it. But they do take up the causes, social causes, the broader religious causes, the cause of Hindutva in the right direction. So they have as many well-wishers as enemies. Naturally, once you are an activist and then start expressing your opinions on issues very cogently and with reason, naturally that gets you as many friends as enemies. So it doesn't matter, but they carry on with their duty that the Lord has assigned to them. So we have such an eminent man. He's an engineer by education, but a priest by profession. So he voluntarily left the other alternatives available to him in the field of profession and chose the profession of the priestlyhood, just as his father, and is taking care of the temple. Good evening, Namaskar, Mr. Rangarajan Soundarrajan, because your name is like all Tamilians. The name of you and your father, and of course the village also gets a mention, but in your case it doesn't, Rangarajan Soundarrajan. Maybe, one thing is just a brief introduction about you, your family, how from Tamil Nadu you came over here generations back and got dedicated to Chilukuru Balaji temple. So I think a brief introduction about yourself, then we go into some issues which thought are relevant for a discussion.
Thank you, Krishna Rao Garu, for kind words about me and my father and our family. I serve Chilukuru Balaji Venkateshwara Swami. He is Valmika Jataha, means he has incarnated in a ant hill 500 years back. The legend goes it, a devotee used to go by walk from our village to Tirumala every year. Since he could not walk when he became old, he was feeling dejected and unhappy that he could not go to Tirumala. Swami appeared in his dream and said, I am very much in a village in which you are residing, in the ant hill, and he gave certain indications. So this old man got happy, collected all the villagers and started digging the ant hill which was existing, the ant hill which he saw in the dream. When they started digging, the crowbar struck a metallic object and blood started oozing out of the ant hill. And the person who was digging got a kind of ashariri, we could say, that indication that you have hit me hard, I am injured, please pour milk on this ant hill, I will myself come out. So they collected milk and then started pouring on the ant hill. The mud was cleared and the Swami's pratima, we call murti, was identified. Even if you see now in the ekantam, that is without the alankara of the deity, the left eyebrow and the chest contains the crowbar marks on the deity, which is enough indication that the legend is true. This is Swayam Vyakta Kshetram. As per Agama Shastras, the deity indicating to the world that he is present inside a particular place and he calls us to come and worship him. That is our sampradaya. He is a Swayam Vyakta Kshetram. So the deity was installed and then the small Garbhagram was constructed. During the making of the Golconda fort, the villagers used to go and work in the fort. So our village people were getting late to the fort because they were constructing the temple and then going there. The people who were constructing the fort said, we will construct the temple for you, you please come and work in the construction of the fort. So that is how if you come and see the temple, the Garbhagram is what particular architecture. Adjacent to that there is a Muslim type of architecture. And during the Tanasha period, that is during 1670s and all, the two ministers of Tanasha, Akkanna and Madanna, were the patrons of our temple. So all the prakaram, the mantapas, all were constructed during that time. That is how this temple came into existence. Our forefathers were installed by our Ahobila Matam. We all belong to the Ahobila Mat Sampradaya. Because when our G.R. Swami came by Padayatra to this village, he saw the excellent deity and he felt that such a beautiful Swami should have a traditional Archaka family to support the pujas and rituals. So they left my family to take care of the deity's requirements. That is how we have been from Tamil Nadu, but we are serving the deity for more than 400 and above years. We can date back to our forefathers. Our generations have been in service. Even when there was extreme famine, we have stood and taken care of the worship of our deity because we feel he is a member of our family. My father, Dr. Soundarrajan, and my other family members, we are two families which are in service now. My uncle Gopal Krishna is there. He is also 83 years old now. And my father is 89 years old. There is nothing called retirement for us because we are still connected with the deity. our temple, I would say, has been struggling to protect the temple system in the entire country for that matter. Because the objective of the temple system is to increase the amount of devotion in every individual. But unfortunately, because of lot of state control and endowment legislations and officialdom, temples have become like income and expenditure type of concept, where there is devotion has taken a back seat. Even if you go to Srirangam temple, the amount of devotion which you expect at the Divya Desham, that is the biggest Divya Desham which all of us can imagine, you cannot find a kind of a devotee-centric devotional atmosphere, which we were there. Srirangam, the aura of it, the great Ranganatha Swami residing there, we have nothing to tell that this kshetram, but the amount of devotion which a devotee should go and express, a kind of surrender, the feeling of worshipping the Almighty who has been worshipped by Sri Rama himself, that kind of an atmosphere we are not able to provide in Sri Ranga Kshetram. Same in Kanchipuram, same in Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. That has been my complaint. I always say during the devotees movement in the queue complex, not even one Govinda is recited. Whereas in Chilukuru Balaji temple, if a devotee enters, he spends at least 11 pradakshinas he does during the working days when the crowd is less. And if the prayer is answered of his, he performs 108 pradakshinas. Because nowadays the crowd is increased, we have started the Maha Pradakshinam outside. Even during that time, when he is during the 20 minutes or half an hour he spends for the darshan during the line movement, I make it a point that he recites Govinda Namas, Rama Namam. That is how the kind of connection with the divine comes. So this is divine, connection with the divine is the main objective of the temple system. So this is the basic fundamental why Chilukuru is the place of worship which the deity enjoys the presence of the devotees. See, he says, Naham vasami vaikunte yogina mridayena cha madbhaktaha yatra gayanti tatra tishtami Narada. He says to Narada in Bhakti Sutras, I don't reside in Vaikuntham. I don't reside in the hearts of the yogis who try to keep me there. I reside at the place where my devotees keep on chanting. Right. That is how the deity's name is chanted. If you see, February 7th, I went through the very, very dastardly attack. Sir, 40 minutes I went through. The complaint is already there. I will not brief on what happened that day, but 8:30 I came out. When they left, I took my bath. I was there for Abhishekam. None of our people knew that such a thing happened. Because I felt Bhagavan has protected me from, it could have been any way. You could see, when there is a mob, you cannot expect their behavior. So I survived that attack because of the divine grace of my Balaji, who protected like Prahlada is protected by Narasimha Swami. So I surrender whatever is the objective for which he has decided my activity should go on. We are continuing to do that, sir.
Absolutely. I think what you told is perfect. In fact, that's the correct description. It was Hiranyakashipas who were trying to corner you, humiliate you. And it was the divine blessing of Narasimha to Prahlada that saved you, because absolutely, as you pointed out correctly, mob has no reason. Normally a mob has no reason. A mad mob is much worse. And this is a mad mob. I mean, you can always get connected to your own religion, but this is not the way to get connected. And I think all of them are insane fellows, mad fellows. So good that you came out of that dastardly attack and came out unscathed. But one thing, of course, morally, spiritually, you will be unscathed. There's no doubt about that, because you have a objective for your life of devotion to the Lord and serving Him. So you just shrug it off and go about. Physically also, it was good that the God protected you from this insane mob. I mean, the incident, of course, some of those who may not know what happened in Chilukuru Balaji temple, a mad fellow claiming himself to be a extreme Hindutva ideologue, gets hold of about 20-30 fellows as mob, comes over to the temple and says, you have to finance me, you have to support me, you have to give me money to do all sorts of things. I mean, for which nobody will be able to do it. And then all unconstitutional, illegal, irresponsible things. And since you are not doing it, we are attacking you. That's the way they came. They kept him confined to the room, 20 of them all together, pressing on him, physically attacking him, and then left the place. So it was divine grace that saved him. But the way the society has responded, the way all people cutting across all streams have supported Mr. Rangarajan. I mean, it was just great. Shows that there's still a lot of goodness left in the society. So that's what made him Rangarajan Soundarrajan Garu to really come out with renewed vigor to do his service to the Lord. So this is the background to that issue. The second most important thing is, I know you as well as your father made yeoman service for freeing of temples from the government control, more so after that 1987 act of N.T. Ramarao and Challakondaya Chowdhury in Andhra Pradesh. And your fight has been unique. In fact, I keep on saying it's something like between a David and a Goliath, because you are, after all, a small serving priest of a temple fighting the mightiest man at that point of time with a lot of popular support, who was more or less like a tyrant, having his will going through. But then you stood your ground, fought it up to the Supreme Court level, got it amended, the act amended, as well as the rules got amended. In fact, glad to be associated with you in the process of getting the rules amended when we all worked together in that government. So that's the background to it. But more than this, taking up this same point and a much bigger thing, Swami Dayananda Saraswati filed a case in Supreme Court. Of course, it's quite a long case, and then it's still pending. Can you just explain that and your role in that? Where does it stand? How do we take it forward to free temples from government control and also make them the centers of socio-religious activities, autonomous activities of supported, protected, promoted by the local society. That's the way the temple system has developed all over the country. So in that context, what is the work going on and what is that you are doing? Kindly you can explain it for the viewers to have an idea of what all this is about.
So before we proceed, I would like to brief the audience a few important events which you have just touched upon. In 1983-84, as you are aware, we were having a united Andhra Pradesh, 34,401 temples, and these temples, topmost was the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. N.T. Ramarao wanted to abolish the hereditary system of succession of Archakas. Not only Archakas, office holders, meaning the Nadaswara Vidwan, the barbers, the Portu workers, Birasis, all these people. For that he got the Challakonda commission. The commission spent 2 years, collected information, but was a biased commission which was having, the report was written before the commission started working, and they gave a report. My father, since 1984, the moment this commission behavior was identified, he was the only person to unite the entire set of people against this commission. But unfortunately, as you know, the brute majority in the assembly prevails. The assembly passed the legislation 87, and it was stayed by the High Court of Andhra Pradesh. It went to Supreme Court because some other group of Archakas filed in Supreme Court under Article 32. So these petitions in High Court were tagged on to the main petition in Supreme Court, and in single stroke of arguments, the legislation was upheld in the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, sir, in the Supreme Court, the matter related to the small temples which we represent, village temples, temples which do not have even 1,000 rupees per annum income, the matter related to them was never heard in the Supreme Court. Historically, even now we tell that one. If the rural temples are closed down, the devotees belonging to the rural areas have no identity, have no chance of worshipping their deities. So my father filed a written submission when the arguments were...
Small interruption here. It's not only not having an opportunity to worship, that also creates a fertile ground
for conversions.
Of other
conversions happening, yes.
And other religions. Because one of the biggest consequences of the small temples being targeted and made dysfunctional is within the village, a set of people who are protecting the dharma are no longer
available
or not interested, so that created a ground fertile for the conversions as well.
Correct, yes. So, in 1996, the judgment was delivered upholding the constitutional validity. That is, remove the hereditary system is valid. Then the Supreme Court itself observed my father's written submission. It records in the judgment. It says, over a period of when we were starting to write the judgment, we noticed a petition by Dr. M.V. Soundarrajan. It says that the 24,400 temples will be closed down if this legislation is implemented. However, we did not find time to verify the facts. In fact, if the Supreme Court was really interested in doing justice as per dharma, if you say, yato dharmas tato jayaha, if the Supreme Court really wanted to protect the system of worship and the constitution, what it should have done? It should have called up for hearing again. It did not do. Whereas it started legislating. It said, we are appointing 2 committees. One is a welfare committee, when Archaka pay scale. We are not here for pay scale, sir. We don't want to take salaries from government. We are here to serve the Almighty. Who are you? Who is the government to pay salaries to us? We are here, sir, I may be getting emotional when I ask this language. हम लोग थोड़ी भिखारी है, हम भगवान के सेवक है. We are servants of God, not servants of government. And the same Supreme Court, after the committee reports of the Pay Scales Committee and the Welfare Committee came, it had to accept the committee report. Committee report said whatever Soundarrajan is telling is true. Supreme Court said, okay, we will leave these temples to fend for themselves. When you want to fend for themselves, means what? వాళ్ళు zavani. Let them go to hell, Bay of Bengal. We don't care. Then why are you there? Are there no rights for the deities? You have first of all demolished. Not demolishing the temple structure. You have demolished the temple system. System of worship you have destroyed. So this went for review, sir. And the review, the Supreme Court said this is the best case suitable for a larger bench. In 2004 the judgment was given. Review 2004. Till 2013 it was not reviewed. We were fighting not only with 1995 onwards, my father started making it a political. He started meeting across the political parties. See, in fact, we have to, just praising him by sentences is not going to give that. You imagine, he went to communist people. He went even to MIM party people. Said, you have to support when it comes for discussion in the assembly. He went and met lot of religious leaders. Jayendra Saraswati Swamiji was there at that time alive. Your Chinnajiyar Swami, in fact, he led one of the agitations in Vijayawada. So, he was a small thread and trying to unite all these people together. So, the amendment happened in 2007 because of the efforts of my father. He could convince Dr. Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy that this legislation has to be amended. And after amending, sir, 2008 it was notified. Till 2015, you became the Chief Secretary of divided Andhra Pradesh. And fortunately, you took it up. That's how the AP side has got the rules implemented. But in Telangana side, still we are fighting. I have met the topmost people. But the endowment officials, you know, sir,
Absolutely.
they are like hippopotamus. Buffalo skin is thinner. Hippopotamus skin is thicker. You cannot penetrate it. You cannot do anything to them. They will find some loophole to say, sir, idosse adaitad sir, adosse idaitad sir. They will tell, see, ultimately, how long can I sit in the minister's chambers? So that is how it is happening, sir. Now, since Dayanand Saraswati, I had to brief this background.
Yeah, this is the background. Now we will discuss the
Dayanand Saraswati, sir. Dayanand Saraswati Swamiji belongs to Coimbatore. He has got an Arsha Vidya Gurukulam. He's a very, very Advaita philosophy. He's a very, very great learned person, Swamiji. He was terribly annoyed with the way temple system in Tamil Nadu is happening. He has been fighting the Dravidian forces. He has been fighting for protecting Sanskrit language. He has been fighting to protect the culture, original Tamil culture, Sangam literature and all. If you see his videos and his interviews, you will start, getting emotional how our legacy has been curtailed and destroyed. How Tamil Nadu has become the great place to get conversions happening in the villages. First of all, they demonized the Brahmins. They said these are all Brahmins are the only cause for all the evils in the society. Then they said temple system, idol worship is to be, destroyed emotionally by E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. Then they disconnected Rama from Tamil culture. They disconnected Ganesha from Tamil culture. They did all sorts of nonsense. But he said, unless you protect the temple system and remove it from this Dravidian administration, you cannot protect our culture and religion in Tamil Nadu, the entire country. Because most of the Divya Deshams are in Tamil Nadu. So he went and filed a petition in Supreme Court, which is Swami Dayananda Saraswati petition. The petition was challenging the endowment legislations of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and that is only basic Pondicherry. Also Andhra Pradesh. At that time it was United Andhra Pradesh because he felt he was actually very close to my father. Challa Kondeya legislation he was not happy. Even Andhra Pradesh was included. In that, the petition, our Prime Minister Modi ji says, Swami Dayananda Saraswati is his Guruji. And he blessed him that you will become the Prime Minister. First thing you have to do when you become the Prime Minister is to see that the endowment acts are amended. Because, sir, as I do not know how many of the people know, endowments comes under concurrent list.
Right, see, I also didn't know.
Yes, it comes under concurrent list. List 3, item number 28. Concurrent list means what?
They can legislate.
Union government can legislate.
And it overrides.
State government can legislate. Union government could have legislated like they are doing this Waqf. All the Waqf laws, they want to legislate from the center. State Waqf laws will become subordinate. It will be unless it fits into the main.
Absolutely.
They could have done it to the temple system. So as you say, the political will, I feel, is somehow, I do not know why it is lacking. Because of, I do not know political reasons or what reasons, we do not know. But Swami Dayananda Saraswati petition, Supreme Court since 2013 is pending. It has not been heard even once.
2013.
13. So it is pending since
Almost all a decade,
more than 12 years, sir. 12 years. So for that, we have filed an impleading application. In fact, your petition is also there in that. As a chief secretary, retired, you say administratively, I may be good, but why should I administer temple system? That was the gist of your this thing. There is a impleading petition by Ahobila Matam, our Acharya, is 46 Peethadipati. He has filed his impleading application. There is a founder trustees association has filed an impleading application. So many, it's now tagged on. It is now the main, it is a main petition which is now going to hear the fundamental rights related to the deities also. Because we have said, because I told you, sir, 1986 to 1995, Supreme Court did not hear the issues related to the deities of 34,000 temples, rural area temples. It did not hear the deities of so many. So, I said, when there is issues related to substantial interests of the deity, they should be treated on a separate pedestal. There should be amendment to the rules of the Supreme Court, how they treat the deity cases. So endowment laws means what, sir? Yes. It is a deity related temple, Ranganatha Swami temple ante, what is the meaning? Srirangam means what? Srirangam temple related to Ranganatha Swami. If you say Tirumala Tirupati Devasanam, if you say, is it related to Tirumala Balaji or not?
Absolutely.
So you cannot isolate Balaji and treat Tirumala Tirupati Devasanam separately. Why was this great issue related to the Laddu issue became? Because they felt the Laddu was being adulterated, ghee was given as Naivedyam to Balaji. Why the hue and cry happened? Because the deity was being ill-treated by adulteration. Yes, I am just telling, sir, when the Supreme Court said, there is in the great Keshavananda Bharati case, basic structure of the constitution. It said there is a limitation of amending the constitution. The perimeter it fixed for the parliament. You cannot alter the basic structure of the constitution. Fundamental rights, part 3 is the basic structure. If you amend any part of the constitution, if we find that it is against the basic structure of the Constitution. We will strike it down.
Absolutely.
Supreme Court has such a vast power. But unfortunately, there is no limitation for interpretive power of the Supreme Court. For example, subject to morality, it is beginning of 25 and 26. Supreme Court has created a doctrine called constitutional morality. This doctrine was created by Supreme Court. Based on constitutional morality doctrine, the Supreme Court says certain practices, whether they are ritualistic or religious practices, or some communities have excommunication, like Dawoodi Bohra community, there is an excommunication. Whether they can be brought under constitutional morality and say their excommunication power is invalid, they wanted to do all this kind of thing. But I would say, simple question, Supreme Court has to follow when there is a question of confusion related to interpretation. They have to go to the Hindi translation. 1975 onwards, we have the Hindi translation. Denomination ki sampradayam. Why are they going behind Oxford dictionary meaning or Cambridge dictionary meaning? What is the meaning of denomination? Denomination is Christian definition of denomination. We don't want that definition. Sir, second part I would like to go and further say, the Shabarimala judgment. Why are you after Shabarimala judgment? People are asking me. They are asking me. The first question, why I am against Shabarimala judgment is the conclusion of Supreme Court, based on which they said the practice of excluding women of 10 years to 50 years from entering the sanctum or worship at Shabarimala is a deity does not have fundamental rights in the country. Which is a very, very unfortunate kind of conclusion. Now, if that is the case, Padmanabha Swami was a ruler in when the constitution was enacted, before getting merged with the Union of India, there was a covenant signed by the Padmanabha Dasas, that is the royal family, with Sardar Patel. He went and negotiated the merger. So they said, we will not take the oath as Raj Pramukh. We are not Raj Pramukh. Our deity is the supreme. Who are we? So, status of Padmanabha Swami, he is a deity. He is a deity, sir. Curzon, we discussed during our last Telugu interview, Lord Curzon, who bifurcated in 1905, Bangladesh. First bifurcation, he did, East Bengal, he created. Curzon was a person who sowed the seeds of bifurcation in this country. And that Curzon goes to Kerala. When Chitra Tirunal Balarama Varma takes from this Lord Curzon in a chariot. They pass through the Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple. They, on the road, you can see that main road, the temple, Gopuram is visible. The moment they near that Gopuram, the ruler, the king, that is, he is the dasa of deity, stands up and with folded hands stands up. This Curzon is on his, mocking at him. He is saying, Maharaja, Your Excellency, what is the meaning of that posture which you did just now? He says, I am bowing to my king, who is almighty. He is the king of this land. He is the Padmanabha Swami. Lord Curzon remarks, Oh, this is the place where lazy people are fed. Free food, free meals. And our Balaram Verma is shocked by that statement. He feels insulted. Evening, they were supposed to have a welcome meeting or a banquet for the Viceroy, Lord Curzon. King says, the Balarama Verma says, I am not going to come and participate in any function which is going to officiate. And Curzon says, I will deprive you of your rulership. You may do anything. I am not going to come and participate. They are waiting, all the guests are waiting, and our Padmanabha Dasa, Balaram Verma is not coming. Then they ask this Curzon, sir, please take back your words, which is insulting to the deity. Otherwise, our Balarama Verma family, they cannot take any insult to their deity. So he apologizes publicly. Then our Chitra Tirunal Balarama Verma comes and joins. Such is a legacy, sir. And such is a legacy, and the Supreme Court says the deity does not have any fundamental rights. Unfortunate, sir. Second, I would like to tell. This Prince of Arcot. Have you heard about the Prince of Arcot? The Prince of Arcot is the Nawabs.
Yeah, no, that I know. Yes.
These Nawabs.
And Tirupati comes under that.
Yes. Prince of Arcot is given a same kind of a ruler status. When the 26th Amendment happened, they removed all the rulers, they made them citizens and all. The Prince of Arcot is not given, is given a separate treatment. They say, because he has been given the title Prince of Arcot by the Queen. And what is our nonsense, sir? You are recognizing and honoring the title given by the British Queen, but not honoring the same covenant entered by Sardar Patel. For merging, you give the ruler status to the deity. That is the fundamental question we are asking for so many years. So, in 22nd January 1947, sir, let us summarize because it's becoming longer.
No, it doesn't matter. Clarity is more important.
Now, what is the constitution, basis of the constitution? The Constituent Assembly debates and the objectives resolution passed in 1947, January 22nd. The objective resolution was moved by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru before partition. The constitution in unpartitioned land before partition said if partition is happening, that side or this side, both will have a constitution which will protect the minority, freedom of worship, belief and faith. That is the objective resolution. So they went off Pakistan. You know what happened there? There is no minority today. It's an Islamic state they have made. Here, we also are behaving the same way. This is number one. January 22nd, Ramalalla reincarnation in Ayodhya happened. Lot of people were telling why January 22nd. When our Honorable Prime Minister went and inaugurated, before elections, lot of people said it's politically motivated date. He wants to win again elections showing Rama there. We were the only ones, sir. My father said, please tell these people January 22nd is because of a reason. 22nd January, Sri Rama himself reminding us that I am the Ramarajya Sthapana in the constitution reenactment on 22nd January. Because part 3, what they had said, sir? 1950, if you see part 3, Sri Rama, Lakshmana and Sita Devi returning to Ayodhya is a picture there in the constitution. Then they made it secular. Now our Ramarajya Punasthapana is on January 22nd, 2024. Now we are telling the pious purpose of incarnation of Sri Rama is there in the oath in the name of God. Every, sir, constitutional period, because you have been chief secretary, many people you have seen before you, so many people take oath in the name of God. This is where our impleading application is pending in the Dayanand Saraswati petition. We are asking straightforward question to the Supreme Court. Is there a need to amend the rules in the Supreme Court so that you treat God as God? Oath in the name of God, do you give him importance? Because Supreme Court has got a way of handling death convict cases. Suppose somebody is convicted to death. What do? First you give him review, freedom to take review petition. If the review is dismissed, he is gone curative, and then he has got a chance to go for a mercy petition. Till that time, the execution is not happening. Why don't you treat 1,000 times more importantly cases which have substantial deity interest? That is a fundamental question we are raising, sir. And this is common man. I didn't want to use legal terminology here. Simple, common man question. This is what is there in our bunch of applications pending before the petitions committee in Andhra Pradesh, because the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Sri Rangarajan Krishna Rao, he was the one in 2021 in the Parliament. He spoke in the interest of deities' rights, fundamental rights to the deities. First time Parliament, somebody spoke for the deity is Rangarajan Krishna Rao. We will go on record. Then now he has become Deputy Speaker. So through one MLA, he has filed a petitions committee asking him to refer it to the Attorney General and Advocate General to go and ask the Supreme Court, when substantial deity interest cases come, should you not amend the rules so that they give proper hearing? That's what we are asking, sir.
And where does it stand, this Swami Dayananda Saraswati petition?
Sir.
When will it get a disposal? What is your expectations around what time? Because it's almost all 12 years since it's there languishing in the court.
Through you, I would like to request the union government, because it is in a concurrent list. You yourself have to depute the Attorney General, because he is an officer of the court. And like you have Special Marriages Act, you had day-to-day hearing, which was not needed for this country. Special Marriages Act, ultimately what did you do? You said it is up to the legislator or parliament to enact legislation. Everybody knew that. You spent so many hours of the Supreme Court, voluminous papers were filed, arguments were heard, and then ultimately what was the conclusion? Special Marriage Act, we are not in a position to give any judgment. Let us leave it to the political bosses to take a educated decision. That's what is. Here this pending is the last 12 years, sir. And our Honorable Prime Minister's Guruji's petition, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, is a person who blessed our Honorable Prime Minister to become Prime Minister. I remember, sir, September 2014, the moment he took up, he became the Prime Minister, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, my father and Subramanya Swami, all three of them in the same dais. He was appreciative of my father's efforts. He was in a wheelchair. He said, if this case is decided in favor of the temple system, that will be the future of this country. And he showed the thumbs up like this. And I request through you, sir, IYR Talks, somebody sees this video, let them go and brief the Honorable Prime Minister and the Cabinet. They have to depute the Attorney General so that this case is taken up. Day-to-day hearing happens. How Tamil Nadu has destroyed the temple system. And it has become a disease in the southern states. So my humble submission is this.
And incidentally, it is only the southern states where you have the Endowments Act.
Correct.
It is something specific to Madras Presidency,
Correct.
enacted by the British in 1933. I mean, other states are spared of this. So this is a peculiar problem. In fact, Telangana didn't have it. Telangana got it as a legacy of United Andhra Pradesh.
Telangana got it as a curse. I won't say it, legacy. Hyderabad endowments regulation was a super regulation. If you say, sir, Hyderabad endowment regulation is still in force for Christians and Muslims. All the special churches and all governed by Hyderabad endowment regulation. Whereas
Whereas it became the Endowments
Act
of,
1966. So,
okay. Then another important aspect of your activity, which was a great thing and has got attention all around, is the Munivahana Seva. It was something, exemplary. You may explain what it is its tradition, why you enacted it. A little bit on that, I think, is something maybe the viewers would be happy to know about it.
actually, this is historically, I would like to date back to 2700 years back. We have Vaishnava Sampradaya, 12 Alvars.
I thought Vaishnava Sampradaya crystallization started with Ramanuja.
No, sir.
That's
no.
about 1000 years.
No.
Okay.
Ramanuja was a person who made it reach the grassroots level. Vaishnava Sampradaya is dating back to Nammalvar, pre-Nammalvar time.
So it's almost about 2000 years.
More than that, sir. So, immediately after Kali Yugam, that's what they say. Then Alvar's dating happens like that. So, out of the 12 Alvars, there is one Alvar belonging to the downtrodden community, who is Tiruppan Alvar. His place of birth is Urayur, near Srirangam. And every day this person is a great musician. He was a Veena Vidwan. He used to recite the songs on the deity, Ranganatha Swami, sitting on the banks of Kaveri river. Because of his birth in a lower downtrodden community, he was not at that time entering the temple system. We cannot enter the prakaras inside. Our Archaka Swami, by name Loka Saranga Muni, every day goes early morning to the Kaveri river, fetches water for the daily ablutions to the deity and pujas rituals there. One day, this Lokasaranga Muni is walking. This Tiruppan Alvar is sitting on the banks, on the steps, blocking the pathway of the Archaka Swami. And this Archaka Swami calls him by name. He does not move. So he takes a small stone, and to wake him up, he throws one stone. That stone hits the forehead of this Tiruppan Alvar and starts bleeding. But he wakes up. He says, Swami, please forgive me. I was in a trance. I did not notice you were coming. And he moves away. The Archaka Swami takes water and goes into the temple. The moment he enters the sanctum sanctorum, the Ranganatha Swami forehead, the deity idol forehead, is also bleeding from the same point. And he is saying, what is the mistake I have done, and starts literally crying. The Guru Parampara says he had a vision or he had a dream, he had a voice which heard, said, you go and you have hurt my favorite devotee, you go and bring him to the temple in front of me. This person goes back to him. He asks him, please come to me in the temple. My Swami's order it is. That person, Tiruppan Alvar says, I am the lowest born, I cannot enter the temple. If I enter, I will be performing the worst sin of my life. If I set my foot on the temple. So our Archaka Swami says, you will not be setting your foot on the floor. I will lift you on my shoulder so that your feet doesn't touch the ground. And he lifts him on the shoulder and starts coming to the temple and he brings him before the deity. And Tirupanalvar looks at the deity first time in his life and he is mesmerized and starts singing. He just sings 10 poems. We call it Pashrams, which is Amalanadi Piran. And he last sentence he says, En amudanai kanda kangal matrondrinai kanave. I have seen nectar with these eyes. I don't want to see anything else with these eyes. And his Jivatma joins the Swami. This is the legend. This I went to Usman University in 2018 when there was the SC/ST Atrocities Act. Supreme Court had diluted it by saying there is no need of immediate arrest. So there was huge hue and cry saying that the Supreme Court is playing with the sentiments of it's insulting and all that. So few organizations called me to address the gathering there. National SC Reservation Protection Committee, that is the organization. When I briefed them this legend, they said it's all good, it happened some time back, but we are still being treated like that only. And one of the youngsters said, if such a situation comes, will you lift? That's what he said. I was a little bit feeling like the Swami is testing me. Or I said, if situation comes, I will lift. What is the problem? I went and the organizers felt like I was being cornered and all. Said, Swami, Eman Koko. It's okay, fine. I know what is now. And during the Brahmotsavam time, I related this incident to my father. I said, I heard some Munivahana type of voice around me. So my father said, Munivahana means Tirupanalvar. Is the Lokasaranga Muni is a Vahana of the Alvar. So Tirupanalvar is called Munivahana. So then I asked him, said, okay, if you want to lift, you do it. So then I called Jiyagoda Ranganatha Swami temple. So I wanted to do it in a Ranganatha Swami temple. And then we did it on April 16th, sir, 2018. Which was, I did not expect it will become such an appreciable event. But it was an order by my Swami. If you remember, if you think about it now, I am not able to gauge how I did it at that time. But because of that, if you see the February 7th incident, the maximum number of people who were agitated were belonging to the downtrodden community. Mandakrishna Madiga came with around 500 followers to meet me and express his solidarity to me. Along with him, retired ex-MP Venkatesh Neta came. KTR came. All party people, every political party, people in power. Our Honorable CM called me on the phone. I may be missing out if I tell people's name.
Absolutely.
But everyone, sir, I am really.
This is with reference to the incident that
In
happened.
February 7th,
What
yes,
was it?
yes.
When you were cornered.
When
by
I was
some
cornered by
hooligans.
this. Because 2018 it happened and the amount of goodwill it has generated among the every section of society that this person is...
There was a vice chancellor you told who came and really congratulated
Yes, sir.
you.
He, Kolakaluri Inak.
Inak.
Kolakaluri Inak. He, in fact, embraced me and started kissing me on the stage. In some event I went and he is SV University Vice Chancellor he was. And he was the one who wrote the drama called Munivahana. I do not know that that drama existed. He said, "You are the hero of my drama, and you have not you have not acted it. You have reenacted it." He said. So these are the words, sir. And not only Chilukuru, Jiyagoda, we repeated it in Guntur, sir. We again performed it in Nellore. We performed it even in Khammam in 2020, just before COVID. So there are people who would like this, even this case, Supreme Court, the petitions committee, the Tirupan Alvar community, we call them Tirupan Alvar Ammal. So why I would like to again say is Ammal means a mother protecting the interest of the child. So the SC, ST community are behaving like Ammal, Tirupan Alvar Ammal, protecting the deity. Deity is a perpetual minor. Deity cannot perform or protect its rights. Somebody has to protect on behalf of the deity. So these people have been in huge numbers, supported the first petition where we wrote to Sri Ramnath Govindji. He also belongs to that Tirupan Alvar community, Ammal community. And this time we have written to this petitions committee. So many people have supported us, our cause, to Sri Rangarajan Krishna Rao's petition committee, sir.
Thank you. Then one more facet we will discuss and close this discussion. One thing great when I interact either with you or with your father is your broader, liberal, in a way secular approach towards Hinduism. Because I have worked in a number of, the biggest Vaishnavite temple, TTD. Normally what we see both in the Saiva tradition as well as the Vaishnavite tradition, very narrow-minded view of that particular sect is great, is the way they behave and make you feel. I observed it in Tirupati. Same should be the thing in CCLA and other places. But this one area in which you and your father have a totally different approach altogether, which is very broad, liberal, and it doesn't just stop with Hindu religion. You take the secularism beyond that. Unfairly, you are being targeted for that. I would say you are being targeted very unfairly for this, because you explain first this, then the other aspect also. Because one thing Deccan has thrown up is a syncretic secular culture. We cannot forget that. Hindutva, yes, Hindutva does not mean that you attack, you exclude everything and anything. You exclude the fundamentalism of other religions, not the syncretic aspect of other religions. That's where the Deccan Islam stands, more so the Qutub Shahi dynasty, especially with Akkanna Madanna as their ministers, the amount of thing that they have done. So that legacy is something which we have to take it forward as part of our national culture. And for uttering these words, you are being targeted by some of these extreme Hindu elements who do not understand what really Hindutva stands for. Maybe a little bit explanation on that, what you think on that, and why these fellows are unnecessarily targeting you, and I think we can discuss that.
Actually, I would like to be corrected. I don't use the word secular, sir.
Okay.
Secular is a word which we do not need to use. I am a multi-faith respecting personality. Each one, ekam sat vipraha bahuda vatanti. That's what people say in the political circles. But when it comes to following it, they have their own vacuum, they are shell type people. In our temple, sir, Chilukuru Balaji temple, you will be surprised that we are having a waqf created by my great grandfather, Shatakopachari. I would say it is a national document. It should become a national document. When in the Waqf was created by Shatagopachari, endowing entire his properties to Chilukuru Balaji. And he says, I will not be henceforth called as Pujari. All my heirs will be continuing to worship. Their service will be for the pujas and all. That Waqf was registered in a Islamic state called Nizams. That is 7 Nizam. But prior to that, Golconda Fort, sir, if you know, Tana Shah arrested Bhakta Ramadas. For 12 years he was in the Golconda Fort, in the jail. Every day he was being beaten up for his misappropriation.
Revenue misappropriation. As Tahsildar, Bhadrachalam.
Get it.
Yes. Or revenue inspector.
Yes.
Girdavar. Not even revenue inspector. Girdavar, Bhadrachalam.
Yes.
Yeah.
He, despite being beaten, he carved images of Rama, Hanuman inside the Golconda. Imagine. And he was singing the songs of Bhakta Ramadas Kirtanas there in the prison. Imagine, sir, such a Tana Shah, he is being fought with by Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb type of Islam, we are not going to subscribe. Tana Shah type of Islam is respecting every devotion, every faith with the same type of respect. If he had been arrested by Aurangzeb, not even 1 minute he would have been survived. Bhakta Ramadas. That is one part, sir. Second part is in Chilukuru Balaji temple. We have one Muslim family. They are the Watandars. The masjid near Chilukuru, 1 day's expenditure is a part of the expenditure of the festival. That is how it is there in the
Okay, they are the Watandars for the Chilukuru
temple.
So temple expenditure is borne by them.
1 day masjid, they take rice, tamarind, they come and take. That family I gave the bull.
No, 1 minute. Their expenditure is borne by Chilukuru temple or Chilukuru temple expenditure is borne by them?
Their expenditure, 1 day's expenditure is borne by the temple.
By the Chilukuru temple, yeah. Okay.
During the Jatra time. And I would show anybody who wants to come and check our register. We were, even though the hereditary system is abolished in the state of AP, my father insisted that we should follow this Vatan system. Even now, since it is abolished in 1987, even though it is abolished, we are the only people, we are honoring the hereditary system of service of the Deepti people, the Chakali people, the washermen, the Sannai people, generation after generation, they come and collect 7 days Utsavam, they are given Bhatyam. Some people take rice, tamarind, we are, for 1 whole day we distribute, sir. This bull, which was lost by that person belonging to our Vatandar family, he was crying, he is a poor man. And he is a Vatandar of our temple. And our temple Goshala, bull, I gave it to him. If he is to be excluded, he was in tears, poor man. My father attested it. What is wrong in it? Number 1. 3 systems, why it is not wrong, I tell you. He is a poor man, Vatandar, he is still farming, he is using the bull for his agriculture. And I have not given my bull to some Kabela. I have given to a poor farmer. Coincidentally, he happened to be a Muslim. Not only that, before that also I have given to some poor farmers who lost their cows. Karimnagar, one family came and took it. Number 2, sir, I I want to follow, not only follow, I want to ask the entire country to have a research done on what is the Tanasha type of Islam. Because we have to survive. We have to survive in harmony. If you say you want to exclude Muslims, what will happen to KK Muhammad? KK Muhammad can recite lot of Vastu Shastra slokas better than our own people. He is part of lot of conservation activities in temples, sir. He was a person who unearthed the Ayodhya's
Absolutely.
KK Muhammad Garu. If you want to exclude Muslims, what about Arif Muhammad Khan? Arif Muhammad Khan, the governor of Kerala, he came all the way to Hyderabad, and he appreciated our efforts of this temple entry proclamation. I was talking to him, sir, November 12. I asked him, sir, in Kerala, why don't you make it an official day? November 12th, temple entry proclamation, why don't you make it an official day? Because one single day, the entire Tiruvananthapuram kingdom opened the doors for 1300 temples. And Gandhiji says it's a miracle, divine miracle. Rajaji says the deity, the Almighty, as a mentor, he made the doors open. That is what the oath in the name of God means. The God becomes a mentor to you. And he is a mentor. And this Patargati Sufi Basant Panchami, they are doing it every year. This time they invited me. And I went there. They were singing songs related to Krishna.
I agree. This syncretic culture is
Sir,
what is
sir, I would say,
absolutely.
I don't need to function as per your feelings. Sir. I am not here to please 100 crore society. I am here to please my Balaji. If my Balaji is happy, I am surviving. Because he is happy, I was protected that day on February 7th, sir. I go on record. I don't need to be apologetic to what I am doing. And thank you, sir, for raising this question. Because there are a lot of people who will write Facebook pages. They will put on Twitter, I am not a 4G, 5G person. I am a Balaji servant. And I am answerable to my Balaji. As far my conscience goes, there are a lot of friends in other religions who have shed tears for having that kind of an incident happening on me. Even people who are not directly connected to me, sir, have expressed their anger and agony. In a big Urdu newspaper, center page article was there. Why should they write? I am not here for any political benefit. I am not here to get votes. I am here to spread a kind of a love and affection among communities.
Communities. Yeah.
Communities.
No, in fact, taking it a little forward. And,
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Mahatma Gandhi, if you remember, in Bengal, Narsi Mehta's Kirtana is there. Vaishnava Janato Tenene Kadiye Pidu Parai Jane Re. A Vaishnava means what, sir? A Vaishnava is a person who will feel the hurt or the pain in another person. If somebody is feeling the pain, the person who is calling himself Sri Vaishnava will feel the same pain as if it is on me. That is what Gandhiji used to hear in Bengal. Unfortunately, such kirtanas are not there today.
I agree. That's true. No, I mean, taking it a forward, this contribution of Kuli Qutub Shahi is in Deccan. It is under Tanasha and other Kuli Qutub Shahi rulers that Akkanna Madanna flourished. took care of a number of Hindu temples as they are today. I mean, in fact, they laid the foundation or whatever was required. And Shivaji's southern expedition is facilitated by Tanasha. They came through Akkanna Madanna. In fact, that was a rupture point between Akkanna Madanna and the Muslim nobility of the Kuli Qutub Shah dynasty, which resulted in their being murdered. So that's a different issue.
There are two things, sir. If you go into history, Aurangzeb could not conquer Golconda Fort for 6 months. 6 months, sir. Imagine a person like Aurangzeb who has demolished everything on the way, like a road roller he used to be. 6 months he could not conquer means because of the communal harmony existing within the. They felt that it is our kingdom. Even Hindus felt, the Muslims felt.
Yeah. And in fact, another one, I forget his name, he was known as Malkabhiramudu. I mean, he's a Qutub Shahi dynasty king, on whose death the Telugu poets lamented and they wept on his death. So that was a very, very syncretic culture. Of course, same cannot be told about Asaf Jahi. Asaf Jahi, in fact, the way they have encouraged the Rajakars and others, that's a stamp on them.
That's a blot, sir.
That's a blot.
Everybody.
Even though Asaf Jahis were also not all that communal, because under them other communities flourished. In fact, that's one thing which I say. The Hyderabad Civil Service, which was under the Nizam, which subsequently became part of the IAS, because all those officers were there by the time we came into the service. Out of 10-15 HCS officers who became IAS, one was a Muslim. Yeah, of course, all others were Hindus. BPR Vittal, BN Raman, CN Sastri, Rami Reddy. So, I mean, how can you say it was a totally one-sided thing? So, it was, though, towards the end, by his encouragement of Rajakars and others, he did give a communal color to the whole thing. There's no doubt about that. But one thing is, there is no harm in accepting what was good within that period and those things. And only fellows with a very, very narrow mindset cannot look beyond that. So this broadly, because this being just as you told about Facebook, Twitter.
This is most important for this time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because when any activity is given a communal picture.
Absolutely. No, point was, since this issue being raised in the Twitter and where I am also seeing some posts and others, I thought it's better we clarify the issue because...
Even then, would you subscribe? Would you subscribe a person who is a servant of God to be manhandled or brutally hit?
No,
Sir, what happened, sir? I stopped watching few videos. But somebody forwards to me, that was a physical manhandling. These people are trying to demoralize me emotionally.
Absolutely.
And I am not that weak in emotion. They don't know.
That is the strength.
They don't know that I am not weak in emotion. And by Balaji's blessing, I am strong. And sir,
Take forward the mission.
yes, I would like to end, sir, by telling one sloka of Vedanta Deshika. He says to Narasimha Swami, Tvai rakshati rakshagaikki manyaihi, Tvai cha arakshati rakshagaikki manyaihi, iti nischidadi shrayami nityam, Dragare vegavati tatashrayam tvam. He addresses Lakshmi Narasimha Swami. He says, if you want to protect me, I don't need 140 crore people behind me. If you don't want to protect me, Tvaicha arakshati chet. If you don't want to protect me, I cannot take support of 140 crore people. Even if they are supporting me, nothing can be done by them if you don't want to protect me. Means, if the Almighty is with you, sir, even the worst situations, He is there to protect us. And I have been inspired by many such talks of yours, sir. And this is my first talk after February 7th incident. I have not gone to any channel because I know a lot of them will have an agenda when they invite me for discussion. But this was a hugely with an objective of putting forth the great requirement before the Supreme Court. And all the knowledgeable people should watch it and know about it, sir.
Thank you so much. It was an honor to have you here and discuss all these issues. I know how erudite you are on these issues, and your father, I mean, we remember him, he's around and guiding you. And my association with him has been also equally great. I mean, a great, simple person with a commitment for a cause who has worked tirelessly. And as I told you, there's no equality. I mean, a man like N.T. Rama Rao, to take him on by a small priest of a small temple, it's not a small thing, but he did it. He did it and succeeded. So that makes it great. So while remembering him, we end this talk. Thank you very much. Namaskar.